I'm just a mom and a baby.
Hold up, wait a minute. First off, I'm supposed to talk first, okay? I'm the only one that's supposed to be talking first on this show. I'm the only one that's supposed to be on here. And here we have on my conscience.
This is Joe's conscience.
Okay, here we go.
This show is going to be fantastic.
This is all my music, by the way. This is all my music. I want to welcome everybody to another late night wrap up with your host Joe Collins, congressional candidate, California's 43rd district, and my conscience, the amazingly annoying conscience, Robert Foster.
Do you see how he talks to us? He talks to us this way.
Just you, and I have two guests.
No, we have three.
Three? Who's the third one?
Super Arthur.
Super Arthur.
Yes.
Are you a guest tonight?
No.
All right, perfect.
Thank you, Arthur.
So we have three amazing guests tonight. I have Roxanne Hogg with an emphasis on the G.
I just said it was Roxanne Hogue.
Hogg.
It was so close.
I
You were
said
so
text
close.
it. I'm a millennial. You gotta text it to me in order for me to remember that.
She's a chairman of the NDA 46, and she's the vice president of the Legacy Republican Alliance.
And a mom.
This is Joe's conscience.
See, he always still in the show. And you know what else she is, too? She's from Jamaica.
That's right.
And she identifies herself as a black woman.
Wow.
So she's the Republican Kamala Harris. Just kidding. It's impossible to do that. I'm going to tell you why
It's a debate.
You know what? Here's the thing. The reason why you can be the Republican Kamala Harris is because, one, we know how Kamala got to her spot. We know you worked hard. See, Republicans and Democrats are polar opposites, right? I did. Republicans and Democrats are polar opposites. So she is the absolute opposite of Kamala Harris. See, Roxanne has morals and values,
I agree with that.
and she has a family that she absolutely cares about. See, Kamala Harris, not so much.
You know, Kamala Harris cares about her family now. She does. She's a good mom and a good stepmom, and we'll give her that.
Listen,
Don't need her to be vice president.
Let me tell you Kamala Harris is thinking. Listen, you got your family and you got your career. Sometimes you gotta let your family go if you want to excel in your career.
You know what's so funny? I really, right now, I'm looking at Art's face. Art, we need your input on this. Please drop in and let us know what you think, please.
The koala.
Hey, I love it. This show is gonna be amazing.
Listen, if Kamala Harris was a pair of shoes, she'd probably be Reeboks.
She,
She would be Reeboks.
Why?
Because everybody's ran in them.
No need for
Listen,
that.
we have another special guest. We have Sonia Green. And Sonia Green, Sonia is amazing. She's going to be running for, what are you running for, Sonia?
City Council in Huntington Beach, California.
And Huntington Beach. What do you got to say?
We love
Sonia?
Huntington Beach.
Say
Do
something.
you?
Good for
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See, the conscious look like he wants to say something. He cannot stop laughing. All right, go ahead, Sonia. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself. Since
that's my man.
Tell the audience about yourself, Sonia. Tell them why
Well,
you're going to be running for city council.
I am going to be running for City Council in Huntington Beach, where I've lived for now 14 years, but I'm a native Californian. Born in Newport, raised in Westminster on the cup of Fountain Valley there. So our city is kind of needing help, and I'm the one to help it. So I decided to jump in and get going and make things happen.
That's
Shake it
nice.
up.
That's nice. And also, everybody out there knows that when you run for office, you need money, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you have quality candidates like Sonia Green here. So tell everybody how they can find your website, where they can donate to you at.
Thank
That's
you so
important.
much for that. I appreciate it. It is soniagreen.org. Let me spell that for you. SONYA, green like the color, .org. That is exactly how. Hopefully they'll go see it and check out my webpage. I've got some interesting things there, and that will give you a good insight as to who I am and what my platform is.
Wonderful. Now, Roxanne,
Yes.
you have a lot of titles. You've been a lot of things. I met you at an LA GOP meeting, right? I'm a black and I'm a Republican. A lot of people don't
And
know
for people who don't know, GOP, because some people go, what's the GOP? It's the Grand Ole Party. And we're trying to put the party back in Grand Ole Party. It's Republican Party. So LAGOP is the Republican Party of Los Angeles County.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us your background, your experience. I heard you're a movie star.
No, well, I was born a yardie. from Jamaica, along with Errol Weber and some other people. But I emigrated here, luckily, in 1976, actually, in the bicentennial. So I was just talking to another friend of mine, Robbie Starbuck, and telling him that, America to us was the place where we would go shopping. Because I'm from a very, very small island, and we would go to Miami to get fabric to make our clothes.
Wow.
Because, yeah,
I didn't
you
know
know,
that. Did you
yeah,
know
so that was super fun.
Joe, did you know that?
And so I used to
the only
imitate
question I got
Americans.
is how'd you get to Miami?
Well, it's like a bus ride. It's like a nice 90-minute flight.
Okay.
It's pretty easy.
If
So-
she said she swam, then we were gonna.
Yeah, no, Jamaicans don't
Jamaicans
swim.
don't swim.
No, we don't swim. He knows that.
Here we go with the stereotypes.
No, it's true. Although my grandfather was like a champion gold medal
Okay.
water polo player,
You
but
have
I didn't
world-class
get that.
Jamaican swimmers calling, hey man, I thought you said the Jamaicans can swim now.
Okay, that,
That was-
That
no.
was a terrible one.
It's not terrible.
It's just not good.
It's not good.
Could be. So if I had to practice, I still wouldn't be good with practice.
That was.
You know, I can help you. I actually was Tupac's dialogue coach when he was auditioning for Cool Runnings.
Oh, nice.
So I can help people.
See,
But
he
you
didn't
know-
make it into the movie
He
though.
didn't make it.
He didn't,
See,
because he was busy while I was coaching him.
He was a rapper.
He was
He was making
head
movies.
in the
He
clouds.
was making music for Kamala
Say
Harris.
it
Remember
again?
Kamala Harris? He was making music for Kamala Harris in the 80s.
Wow.
She said she
Oh, that's right. That's right. Before he was
Sonia,
out.
This is a real show.
I love it. I love it.
Get ready.
I'm soaking it in.
But
I'm
Joe
soaking it
doesn't
in.
have time to learn a Jamaican accent because he's got to help save the district.
Yes.
Because, boy, California is in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
And really, I came here today to tell people that if you are a huge fan of Maxine Waters and if you are a lifelong committed Democrat, then you must vote for Joe and every other Republican because you want your party to get better. You want people to be their best. And right now, the Democrat Party's treating black people especially, but their constituents like they're some sort of 4 a.m. booty call. Like, hey, I'll hit you up every 4 years and maybe we can chat.
I love it.
You know what? Nancy Pelosi said something very iconic in my opinion, and I think Louis Gohmert, he's one of the congressional representatives in the South, was one of the only people to catch it. He said that Nancy Pelosi said that the Democrats wants to get rid of everything that has to do with slavery from America, so that's why they're tearing down the monuments and stuff across the United States. Now, I don't think that she realized that the Democratic Party is the staple of slavery in America. And so, Mr. Gomer said, I think that we need to get rid of the Democratic Party too. I mean, if we're going to be following Nancy Pelosi's rules. And so they were pitching new names for the Democratic Party. And a few names that they came up with was the post-slavery party. One for all, but not all for one. And they came up with another name. I can't think of it. By the time the show is over, I'm going to tell you what the third name was.
Well, the sad thing is that most people don't know that the Republican Party, is the party that freed the slaves.
They know.
They know.
They know.
You
just
know what
in
they
denial
don't?
about it.
Well, the man in the street doesn't know. You know that.
No, you know what's funny? They
It's
really
a
do
swi-
know.
It was a
but-
switch.
Right.
Oh.
It was
They
a
paint a
switch.
picture of this mass switch.
Mhm.
And the Democrats have really, really played the game and tried to say that there was a mass exodus. And it's a complete lie. I mean, that's it. And it's
So
just-
why do you think that they decided to play that? Why do you think that they want to say, oh, this is actually how it is? This is the switch. We believe it's the switch. What made them decide that? You know what? These
That's a great question with an amazing answer. In 1963, Lyndon B. Johnson, then President Lyndon B. Johnson, now deceased Lyndon B. Johnson, signed the Civil Rights Bill. Now, only about 40% of the Democrats who were in office at that time agreed to the bill because they wanted to keep slavery going. 100% of the Republicans signed that bill as well. Because LBJ was a white guy who was a Democrat who had to sign that bill because the majority of the people in the House of Representatives signed that bill, they said, oh, Democrats care about us. Meanwhile, LBJ is going around telling people, well, those N-words are getting kind of uppity because they got political powers now. Let's give these, N-words something. And he signed a civil rights bill. He said now these N-words going to be voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
Mhm.
That wasn't 200 years ago, but I don't think black people don't keep voting Democrat. Yeah.
So with that being factual, why today do blacks still say, I saw someone the other day, actually on social media, no, it's switched. I was really shocked that they're still saying that.
Mhm.
So what makes them continue to this day, knowing that this is fact?
I can give you this. The reason that they are on a consistent basis saying that they have switched parties and they've switched lanes is simply because they want to take credit for something that they did not do.
Mm-hmm.
If you leave it up to the Democratic Party, they would also say that they freed the slaves. Abraham Lincoln was a Democrat. Well, they would say he was a Democrat or he thought like a Democrat. Well, they've been doing this for years. They want to take credit for things that they don't do. And when they do something, they don't want to take credit for that. So literally they're saying on a consistent basis, we've done this. Well,
Yeah.
in the 43rd district, Joe, what is the history of a person in the 43rd district?
But she's been in office, she's been in Congress since '92. She was a state assemblywoman in '76, and she had somebody build a school for her.
I don't want to say the name.
You know. You know what? I like to play the protagonist, right? Even if there was a switch, that means Democrats are supposed to like black and brown people, right? And I posted something on social media. I said, okay, can anybody name something that the Democratic Party has done to improve the lives of urban America, black people, Latinos, or even white people? And I got everything except an answer. I didn't get no answer.
Wait,
So,
Roxanne has the answer.
what's the answer, Roxanne?
Roxanne was the answer.
I can't think of anything.
You know what? I know what they did. But we're going to take a quick break, and then I'll come back with the answer.
Awesome.
DJ, take us out with some great music.
Arthur's the man.
Hi, Arthur. I didn't get to meet you.
When the red light is on, the mics are hot.
Yeah.
I'm quite nervous, by the way, guys.
Wow.
Sorry.
No, you're great. You're doing great.
Oh my
I have
gosh.
tequila
I'm like,
here if you need it.
Sound good.
Wow, thank you.
Looking good.
Oh,
You're
you're
doing
too
great.
sweet.
Remember something about radio. When they hear your voice,
Here.
if you have sex appeal in your voice, they
Well, let me
You got
switch
it?
that up a little bit. How is
Sonia, he's
this
throwing
sounding?
something at you.
there you go.
Let me try it again.
Aw, happy birthday, Cody.
I didn't bring one for you.
I know.
Oh,
I got one for him.
you
Get-
gotta give me your
break
full
him
name
off.
so I can save the front of. Is this the extra, extra small? You
Is
can
that a
have
medium?
small.
She got a
That's
medium.
medium.
It's a medium.
I don't have it. That's all I got.
It's
You
okay. I
want Arthur
can,
then, bro?
I can cut
I
it
got
up
one,
and
fam.
like make it into a
What, you
medium.
got 5?
I got
Is-
3
you
more
want a
sheets.
small,
I got
just
one
small.
medium,
There's
a large,
three
and
people in
extra.
here.
Huh?
There's 3 of them.
Thank
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to him once we get out.
Let me get. They'll be happy.
Huh?
They'll be happy.
They won't be happy.
You sure?
Huh?
What you want to leave with? Make sure you say your website, please.
Hmm?
Make sure you say your website.
I will.
Oh, yeah. How many times we gotta see that?
Mesothelioma. I get so sick of hearing mesothelioma commercials.
I wouldn't have learned that word if it wasn't for advertising. Right? It was like, I bet you every little kid can spell it.
Yeah.
Mesothelioma, MESOTH. Something.
You are that person.
No, I have my name.
Yo, have you seen her Kamala Harris?
No,
have
do
to
it. Oh,
show-
I'm so
No,
ready
no,
for
no, no,
this.
no, no. You have to see it.
Oh.
It's insane. I was blown away.
It was
Are you
hard
serious?
on my hair because there was some flat ironing involved.
Did you?
I'm laughing.
Oh, you sound just like her
was
too. That's how you
good.
get after it.
That
Yo, you know.
And you gotta say this. And let's be clear.
No, let's be clear, is Obama.
She says that.
Yeah,
She
she's
took that-
starting
She took
to.
that from Obama.
She also does a lot of head.
Yeah, she does.
This.
That's the only thing she used to.
Yeah.
You know he can. You know he can say that.
I'm
If you say, if you say, why does Kamala Harris nod her head so much when she's talking? He can actually. He's legal. No, he
You can
legally
say
can say
whatever
that.
you
Okay,
wanna
not
say.
legal, I'm
You
talking
ready?
about
We're
what's
about to go
right.
out.
The truth is always right.
All right. So here, this is what the Democratic Party has done for the urban America, right?
What is that?
They taught urban America how to talk a very bluff, right? They call it bluffing. If we were playing spades or poker, we'd be
Yes.
bluffing,
All the
right?
time?
Every single time. They talk a very good game,
Mhm.
and they never back it up. And there's a lot of people in urban America who are really good at talking a good game and never backing it up.
But it's not just urban America, because, so I'm the other arm of the sort of African-American vote that Joe Biden thinks is not diverse.
Are you
So-
voting for Joe Biden?
No,
You
can't be a
ain't
no.
black.
That's right, I ain't black. But so, there's African Americans that are born and raised here, multi-generation, and then there's a whole mess of us that have come from the Caribbean, from actual Africa, from all over the place. And there's actually a group that tries to claim #ADOS, only American descendants of slavery should get reparations, because they're all like counting the millions now. I don't know how you give reparations to like, Beyonce, but okay. And the fact is that what the Democrat Party has done to everybody, not just urban America, not just black people, not Hispanic people, but to everybody, is to be all about the feels. Because when I went to college, I remember having a conversation with the first Republican that I ever met. And he said, do you think you should get to keep the money you earn? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, and when you have kids, do you think you should be able to decide where they go to school and how they're educated? And I said, well, yeah. And then he said, well, then it sounds like you're a conservative. You're a Republican. I was like, no, I can't be. Look at my skin.
Got him.
That's what they got.
Got him!
So Sonia, what made you decide to jump into the race for city council?
My city needed me. They need somebody like me. They need somebody that's a fighter, someone that's not afraid to call his shots, say it like it is, put people in check, let them know that, the talking is talking. And I was listening, I've been listening to city council members a few times and throughout the years, and they sound really intelligent. They have great verbiage. They say a lot of things that are fiscal related and capitalize on fiscal responsibility, but then when it gets to the residents that they're supposed to be representing, they don't hear any of their concerns or any of their ambitions that they would like to see happening. I'm part of that community, and so watching it go through a stage of some sort of demise, I think it's best now to stop it, and we get in there and we fight for what's right. We need real people that are not in it just to say, hey, look, I'm on the city council. We need people in there that are community oriented, people that care about other people. I'm a natural person that anyone that knows me, they know that I like to see people succeed. I like to help people get to the roads that they need to get to. That's why I also own an employment agency, and I've been doing it for 20-something years. I've had the opportunity to place, just about, if not more, 25,000 people through my career. So
They all in Huntington Beach?
everywhere. I placed in LA, placed
They were
in.
on Huntington Beach, you'd have this soda, you got 25,000 votes. You would never get beat.
Well, a lot of it is in Huntington Beach. That's where I am, but I've placed all over. So
That'll be a good slogan though, vote for Sonya and I'll get you a job.
there you go.
Right after COVID-19 and everything, yeah, vote for me, I'm gonna get you
Yeah,
hired.
absolutely.
Have you heard the statistical numbers of what they're trying to put out of the amount of people that will never go back to work? They're saying 1/3 of the people.
Are they all teachers union members? Because
Probably.
those are the ones who don't wanna go back to work.
They get paid to protest, so technically they're not working, they're W-9, they're W-9 contractors.
13 out of 18 in Seattle are reporting for school teachers.
Yeah,
Insane.
how bad.
Wow.
You know what's crazy? This is one thing that I hate. When it comes to politicians, and this is the point that you brought up, Sonya, it comes to politicians and it's time to look at the constituents, listen to them. And the constituents, like, we need quality jobs and we need to, rally against police brutality, we need police reform, and we need, money for our businesses. They said, you know what, I got the perfect idea, I know exactly what you want. We're gonna riot, and we're gonna destroy all the cities, we're gonna take the money, give it to colleges from the PPP, and if you got a small business, unless you're connected to somebody in government, we're gonna shut that down until we find a cure for a disease. And we didn't ask for that. We didn't ask for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when 2020 started, everyone was really excited? They were like, wow.
Yeah.
The stock market, everything,
I
everyone
was
was like,
Absolutely.
extremely excited.
yes,
Yeah.
everybody's like, this is gonna be my year,
I have a kid graduated college this year. I thought,
Really?
this is gonna be awesome. Yes.
Roxanne, come on.
Aw.
She's trying to fool us right now.
He's
Knock
flattering
it
me.
off.
This is radio. I'm
Knock
old.
it off.
I'm 54. I'm like,
Let me tell you your age on the radio. We
no,
got
it's
some- we got some
okay.
men on here.
I'm getting my discounts. I'm getting my discounts. And
Oh.
Ricky, if you get some Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity, I'm like all over.
Arthur, do we have the rotary phone, the phone that goes, she was dialing on that first.
But
No, I
Sonia,
have one right here. Hold on.
she's great. Sonia and you, Joe, are doing exactly what the founders intended, and I ran for office too a couple of years ago, it wasn't meant to be a lifelong career. It was meant to be something you do, serve your term, and then go the heck back to live under the laws that you've just passed. And we don't have that. So
Right.
thank you, both of you,
Oh,
for
thank you.
running.
The founding fathers probably been a little disappointed in me because I be on these politicians' head. I don't care what the cause is. It doesn't matter. Democrat, Republican, I'm on everybody. Even, it was crazy when we went to Minneapolis, we went to stand in solidarity with families that have been murdered by police or victims of police violence across the United States as well as
Where do we go?
Minneapolis.
Wait a minute, you know who's listening to the show right
Who's
now?
that?
Remember Cortez?
Cortez.
Our guy?
What's up, man?
Shouts out to
Shout
my
out to
guy.
Cortez. Yeah,
Cortez is there.
yeah,
He's
got-
listening
got
right
to
now
talk
for
a little
sure.
bit as
Yeah.
well. But we went out there, and I think the craziest part about it is you see these and the one thing that I hated about the DNC, right? They tried to use Black Lives Matter and their approach to appealing to the Black America, even though they didn't even talk about a Black agenda. But when I was in Minneapolis, I don't remember seeing any politician come out. I didn't see Kamala Harris. Well, Black Lives Matter. I didn't see Kamala Harris. I didn't see Nancy Pelosi. I didn't even see Barack Obama. I didn't see Hillary Clinton. I didn't see Maxine Waters. I didn't see none of these people who claim that Black Lives Matter out there. I didn't even see any of the city council members and the mayors. In order to talk to the mayor, we have to talk to a different mayor to get a hold of the mayor, of Minneapolis,
Right.
to talk to the mayor and the AG, to get the other cops arrested.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we had to do that. We went to we spoke at rallies, and it wasn't like, let's destroy the city rally because those people weren't destroying the city. Those people that's coming inside that was destroying the city. But the fact that while we were out there, right, Angela Stanton King was out there as well. But while we were out there, no politician came out. Maybe a few local guys from school boards, one city council member who was trying to get elected. We didn't see none of these people when it comes to Black Lives Matter. We came back, we did a prayer vigil with LAPD. There was a rally, came down like 5,000 people. We shut that rally down. I didn't see any Maxine Waters is there who talking about defund the police. I didn't see any Nancy Pelosi's. I didn't see none of these people. I saw the mayor of LA out there. I saw the police chief.
You saw Michael Moore.
Yeah, he was out there, man.
Sure.
But we shut the entire rally down, made everybody go home. But I still never seen any of these Black Lives Matter people out there. And one thing that I still haven't seen when it comes to Black Lives Matter, while they trying to destroy everybody's cities thinking that thing is going to work, I haven't seen any legislation or any bills that they want to get repealed or anything that they want to get passed. So it's like, what are you guys protesting for? What are you guys tearing up stuff for?
Well, they're doing a great job on suckering up a huge amount of cash and passing it along to Act Blue. So
Yeah.
their job, their mission is done.
I said that on Fox Soul, and then Dominique Dupree was like, "You're lying. That's a myth." I'm like, "No, it's not a myth." I said, "Have you ever donated to Black Lives Matter?" You know,
Do you know what's,
you're lying. You're always lying.
no, you know what's crazy about that?
Yeah.
And I found this with a lot of people who are consistent Democrats. Dominic DeBrino and other people like that. They turn around and say, you're lying. But then they never give an answer on why they're lying. They can't do it because they just, when you state the truth, unequivocally, it upsets them. Because then other people can go and say, wait a minute, let me Google it. And then when they see something like that, they turn around and go, give me more.
To be fair, they've never heard it. A lot of times, my friends have literally never heard things that you, Sonia, everybody, we've heard all sides. We live in LA, so we already know the blue side, right? And then they have no idea. They think the President Trump actually said that neo-Nazis in Charlottesville were good people.
Okay,
They literally don't know that there's a transcript and an uncut video showing the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's true. They don't know that.
Well, they don't want to know it either.
No.
no, they do.
You think so?
Yeah, they
Yes.
do. They're
But mass
intelligent people.
media, unfortunately, they do. Like even today, did you notice today that there was nothing on television and there will be nothing tomorrow concerning what the president did state unequivocally that he's like, there's 70,000 people who tested this drug on and it's working. We need other people to volunteer. And none of the media in Los Angeles covered that event.
Of course not.
None.
Yeah, but I've spoken to some people that are definitely Democrats, and they don't seem to care, in my opinion. They really don't seem to, it's like they almost don't want to see it. Anything, they've been so programmed to say, you know what, Trump is the enemy. Even though I always say, hey, this is the same guy, these same people are telling you to hate now, they all loved him. So that never gave you an inkling to think just for 1 second, well, gee, why, he was your best buddy, or is this someone you aspired to be, to some, all of a sudden you hate. Anybody with a brain would say, wait a minute, what'd you do? What'd you do while you hate him?
Right. Say it again.
What'd you do while you hate him?
I like it.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about? Come on now, baby.
It was crazy. I'm in this segment on this right here, right? So we were on. I was on Fox Soul, and they were like, they were talking about Joe Biden. I said, well, I have 3 daughters, and Joe Biden's always filling up on little girls. And so I think I have a problem with that. So unless he addressed that rumor or fill up on little girls,
Sorry,
then,
he's sniffing Kamala right now.
I'm never gonna vote for him. And they was like, well, what about the president and his issues with women? I'm like, yeah, but they're not little girls though. You know, like you can pay for it or not. At least they're not children. You know.
Look, everybody knows that Joe Biden has the most charitable way to say it is very creepy uncle vibe.
He's a girl uncle.
He's one of those uncles that like tickles
Hey, Arthur,
you and doesn't let you
serious
stop.
in here, buddy.
And you're like, oh my God, Mom, make him stop.
Hey,
How much do we have before we go?
you guys, look, we're about to take a break, and we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna talk to Roxanne some more. We're gonna talk about Joe Biden some more. Oh wow. Friends, how many of us have them?
They call friends.
How old are your daughters?
Before we go any further, let's. Huh?
Friends.
How old are your daughters?
I have a 13-year-old and I have 2 10-year-olds. 2 10-year-old twin girls.
Twins, yeah.
Okay, so my twins are 15.
Oh my God.
I would not let
You better
Joe
hope you
Biden
get
near my
elected,
kids. I'm
and
like,
then you
look,
could be gone. Because
bro.
I love them. I love them.
Can I move this thing so I can see her?
Is it you can relate them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I keep looking. at
Arthur,
her.
can she
Try.
touch that? Can I let to
I
touch
can touch
that?
that.
Okay.
You know, he don't work here. He's with us.
Oh, okay. Oh, now we can. Oh.
Yeah,
Feels
yeah.
good, huh?
I
Look
know,
at
it's like
her
a
beautiful eyes. Now I can
No,
see
you
It's
her.
like
know,
air conditioning came in the
you can
room.
talk because you're a candidate. You can talk about other candidates and other people.
So why can't they
But
talk
we,
about
no, by law, if we say something, you pay, it's a fine.
Mm.
So we have to be discreet. Like you did it very well. You were like, oh, well, he has creepy.
Oh, because of the
But we
equal,
can't
the equal
specifically
time
say,
thing.
they can't, no,
Right.
no, not even that.
No, you're talking about slander?
Yes.
No.
You can get
Public
sued.
figures.
No.
Public figures.
It doesn't matter. On the radio, because they told me, because we
Oh, okay.
went back and forth.
All right, you're
That's why I
telling us?
can't do it.
So
You're a
I
candidate,
shouldn't have
though.
said that, right? Can you erase it?
Dang it, not yet, patient. In a few days.
I'll never say anything bad about anybody again.
I will.
So I couldn't say that.
You can.
you
You
Oh,
can.
I was
can.
cool.
You can
But
go
even
hard. No,
when
no,
I
you can
was
go hard.
running,
Okay.
like I was
That- your
in a
candidate
debate
that you're
with
running
my,
against, if you
with
wanna
the
go
guy
hard,
running
You
against,
can say
and I was
anything
like,
you want, like, I
See,
don't
that,
think,
super
that
dumb.
flirts with freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? That's what
It
I'm
does.
like,
I agree with you, but you can say anything you want, but us, if we say it, fine, FEC, fine.
Wow.
And just, I mean, what's it called? The radio thing will give the show a fine. Cause they told me the first day, like, yo, we loved it, it was
My
crazy.
husband just texted me and said,
But
funny
you
stuff, guys.
What's your husband's name?
Bob.
That means, is his name Bob or Robert?
His name is Robert,
Okay.
but he's Bob.
Alright, got it.
He's a palindrome. He's Bob, he's Dad.
How is Bob short for Robert?
Well, it's also Bobby, Robbie,
Yeah.
Robert has like
Take it short for
18.
Richard.
I only take 2, Robert and Rob. That's the only 2 I take, cause.
Don't call me Roxy. That's the one I don't like.
Which one?
Roxy,
Oh,
stripper name.
I like the way you switch up the music.
All right, guys, then we're back. I'm gonna tell you one more joke about Joe Biden, and then we're gonna just kidding. It's no, you can't tell a joke about Joe Biden without being serious. Roxanne, so let's how.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, it's all truth.
Yes,
So
sir.
I can't have any jokes.
True.
So Roxanne, Legacy Republican Alliance. What is that? How do you involved with it?
So Legacy Republican Alliance, and Corinne Rankin is the president. And I just saw on Twitter earlier today, someone was saying, why don't you guys have anything going on in California? And Isaiah Washington was like, look at Legacy Republican Alliance. And we formed to try and help identify and support and recruit and help specifically African-American Republicans.
Is that racist? Is that just
It is,
because
so-
you're African American?
We'll help, well, I'll help anybody. I hate identity
I'm
politics.
joking.
I will tell anybody, I'll say it at my school, I'll say it, like, I don't wanna be, in a racial box.
Yeah.
But since that's the field that the Democrats are playing on, then fine.
Well, listen, let me tell you something. I hear so many excuses. You know, I put my office dead in the middle of South LA for a reason. Not just because I grew up in this around the corner from where I grew up at, but I have so many Democrats, I want to hear what they got to say. The reason for being a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest thing, we don't have any Republicans down here in South Los Angeles. If you did, would you like them? No. Okay. Well,
There's a huge amount of Republicans in South Los Angeles, and I'll tell you something else that'll blow your mind. There's more registered Republicans in Los Angeles County than any other county in the United States of America, and then 41 other states. We're also outnumbered by Democrats. I'm not gonna pretend that we're not, but they've done a great job in California of making us feel like we're alone. So everyone just keeps their head down, and your car won't get keyed, and you don't make any waves. But the truth is, we're out there. I saw you guys both out at the Walkaway March.
Oh, we'd be everywhere. We went out there on
Wasn't that
on
great?
GP. No, we had stuff going on in our office. It's great to go to protests and rallies and stuff, and I love it. But I don't think I would have went had I not got phone calls from like 4 or 5 different people in Rob saying, "Hey man, guys, come up here." We were legitimately having a food bank at our office and a voter registration to give away sanitation stuff to people in the community. And so we left there and went up to the walkway for like an hour, and then we went back to the office.
Yeah, no, you're working on your campaign and you're doing a great job, but I think what's really heartening was to see in the middle of Beverly Hills, not only the group that came out, but the number of cars, I was there 4 or 5 hours, the number of cars driving by honking, it was like
It was big.
20 to 1
True.
support versus not support.
Did you
And
see what
that's
happened yesterday?
mind-blowing.
Did you see what happened yesterday?
I did, I
They were about
may
to
have read
have-
about it.
Yeah, they were about to fight each other.
Yeah.
It was about to.
I didn't fight when I went.
You know what's so funny?
That's just because me
Well,
and
I
Rob
understand.
wasn't
What-
there.
what- what-
They don't fight when me and Rob show up.
I don't
So
ever-
know Joe showed up. Don't do that. You know, he's from South Central Los Angeles.
Whenever there's Sonia, Roxanne, Joe knows this. We go to places and there's never like some ruckus. Why?
Well, because you look like you could beat the living daylights out of somebody, quite frankly.
Because you're 6'7", 320.
I mean,
Yeah.
You know what,
Joe looks like he's carrying. I mean,
I'll tell
come
you
on.
guys.
Hey, I'm a pro 2A.
hey,
I know.
we're both pro 2As.
Yeah, well, and you guys give off great synergy. You have the synergy. I mean, when you
I mean,
have
have you
something
looked at
so
your
cool.
synergy though? Your synergy is centered.
Is it centered?
It's centered.
It's really centered.
It's there.
Tell me how centered I
Uh-oh.
am.
Oh, really?
Tell me, baby.
Okay,
No,
Sonia
no,
Green,
no.
everybody.
Okay,
Sonia Green
yeah.
ran for city council. She sings as
Hey.
well. So not only will you get hired, you'll get hired with a serenade.
I love that.
So make sure you
Inauguration is gonna be on fire.
And who are you running against?
Oh,
No, the question is who's gonna lose?
No. I want to know who you're running against.
Oh, okay. That
well,
person.
there's actually 3 seats open.
Uh-huh.
I believe there's now 15 that are running. So we've
In
got
your race or just in general?
in my race, yeah.
15 people in your
15,
race?
yeah. So
You heard, is that 15 including you or 15
15
plus
including
you?
me.
Okay, so it's 14 people plus an incumbent that's about to lose that seat.
Yes.
Because we're going to help Sonia. Let's get blacks for Sonia.
Sonia, do you have a website? Can she say it? Is she allowed to
Yeah,
say
she
that?
Let me
should be
say it
there.
again. Sonia
Sonia.
Green. No, okay, I'm gonna do it.
SoniaGreen.org.
How do you spell
Sonia
Sonia?
Green.
You gotta spell it,
I'll
because
spell
people, you know.
SONYA
Mhm.
Green GREEN.org.
And what it's Joe Collins.
And donate to Sonia.
Joe
Please.
Collins for
Yeah.
Congress.
Yeah, JoeCollinsForCongress.com. We do really well fundraising though. We're about to push $4 million right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, some politics.
But we're gonna go for 5.
No, the goal is 5.5.
Well, what's great, Joe, is to see you actually using that money. Because I think what's fascinating from normal people, and by normal people, probably no one listening to this show, because normal people don't
No, they
think
do.
about
They-
politics on a Sunday night.
They do.
That's
You'll be
funny.
surprised.
Yes, but most people do not.
My boy
But
Cortez in Minneapolis
that's
is
true,
listening.
That's
Hey,
true.
wait 1 second, Roxanne. Hey, Joe, excuse me 1 second. We're throwing it right back to you. Do you remember the water that we had there in Minneapolis that was called protein water? That Cortez was the owner of the company?
Yeah.
You know, do you know what's crazy? He started that company in California, in Van Nuys, and sold out in 6 days. Do you understand that company moved to another state because of the taxes? Think about that.
Everybody moved to another
Roxanne,
state because of
continue.
the taxes.
It's not just the
We'll get on
taxes.
Gavin
Shouts out to
Newsom later.
Protein Water, my man Cortez.
the taxes are the least of it. Do you guys know what PAGA is, the Private Attorney General Act, which just goes after employers and fines them millions of dollars for people taking their lunch break at a different time than they should? It's, what California does to people who want to be entrepreneurs or business people is horrendous. Is
True.
absolutely horrendous. It's,
Yeah.
you know, Texas's slogan is "We're open for business." California's is like, go to Texas. I mean, it's,
I like that.
I have no
And
idea
if that
why
don't
they're
work
doing.
out for you, keep going east.
Yeah.
You'll end up in another liberal
Just
city.
go to Nevada. Do something in Nevada. Don't come to California and do
Yeah.
business. Business is not what we, but you know what's crazy, ladies and gentlemen in this room? Do you understand? I love what you said, Roxanne. You said that there are more registered Republicans in Los Angeles County. But the state of California is the 5th biggest economy in the world. Now, let that soak in, listeners. Joe Collins is going to win the 43rd district in the 5th biggest economy in the world. Just think about the 5th biggest economy.
And imagine how much bigger it would be if it was unleashed. If
Absolutely.
AB5 hadn't crushed so many people, if Gavin Newsom hadn't
Who?
destroyed,
Who?
recall Gavin.
What's the guy's name?
Even if we still have to pay a lot of taxes, because I mean, like, you see these people who are in office in California, they can't even balance a budget. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we got black card swipe. Who's going to pay the bill? California taxpayers. And you know what they do with our money whenever we have a pandemic, when we need that money back? Well, we'll give it to illegals.
Right.
California's going to vote for us anyway. If you're in California,
Yep.
you have to be Democrats. Let's get the illegals and turn them into Democrats by giving them free stuff with the taxpayers.
If we were paying high taxes and getting really great services,
Mhm.
it's like, if I pay a lot of money for a pair of shoes,
Mm.
honey, if you're listening, I didn't.
No, she did.
But
She's
if,
telling
if,
on herself.
if
She is telling on herself.
if
right
I
now.
paid a lot of money for a pair of shoes, they would have to be super comfortable.
Mhm.
But it's like we're paying a ton of money for shoes that are crunching and giving you a bunion, like heels falling off.
So what kind of shoe? What kind of shoe would you think would be a comfortable shoe?
I-
If Joe Biden was a shoe, he'd be pro wings.
No.
What kind of shoe is a good shoe?
I don't know, because I just buy whatever's on sale, honey, if you're listening.
This is
I'm a smart wife. I'm married.
You know, one thing I haven't understood. This one thing I haven't understood. Joe Biden's been losing his hair. They have all these hair loss treatments. Why haven't anybody, one, invested in hair loss treatment, and two, invested in some new shoes? I mean, like you, and some new teeth for Joe Biden. You would think that somebody who's listen, hear me out.
Preach.
Joe Biden's son made like what, $50 million a month or something, $50,000,
$50,000 a month.
and you couldn't get your dad no new teeth after he got you all that money with Burisma?
Hey, the DNC convention, Monday was malocclusion Monday. There was some severe overbite, underbite, some gnarled teeth.
Joe Biden, he
That's a gnarly
has
party.
wooden teeth.
I just have a quick question. Did anybody, I mean, this is legal for me to say this. Did anyone see Joe Biden call his wife his husband?
We heard Obama call his wife a husband. He called that person Michael. Michael and all.
Said Michael come up, Michelle, Michael.
Well, Michael, my
Michael,
wife.
Michelle, Michael.
As an old person who goes through
Arthur,
8 names
Arthur.
before I get to the right one, I can say
This is
nothing.
getting serious in here.
But Joe Biden, that's what happens when you
Yes.
lose your mind.
Poor
It's
Joe
obvious.
Biden. He never had a
He called her
fastball.
his sister first.
See?
Then-
Yeah.
You saw
then-
it?
Yeah, he saw his sister, then he said it was his husband.
I saw
Yes,
it.
Then he asked
He's
that-
Joe Biden.
Then
And
he got caught
This
hot
is
mic
Joe
and
Biden.
asked that little 12-year-old girl, "You 17 yet? Can I take you with me?" You didn't see that? They hot mic.
But remember, they can't date till they're 30. Every time he sniffs a little girl as her parents getting sworn in, he goes, "Now remember, no dating till you're 30."
Unless
And
you're on
then
Epstein Island.
And then he turns to the brother. If the kid has a brother, he goes, "Don't let any boys see your sister till you're 30." You gotta see the
You
compilation.
know what it is? You know what I think it is? I think that Joe Biden is lacking. He's lacking something right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it's mine.
And because you
Frontal
two, Sonia,
His teeth.
we would love to find out from you, in your district, okay, except, wow.
That's the sound you'll never hear from Joe Biden. He cannot
Thanks,
bite an apple
Arthur.
with them teeth.
We appreciate it. Sonia, in your district, we would love to find out, in Huntington Beach, because no place is perfect, okay? Huntington Beach is really nice, it's a beautiful area. what is Huntington Beach lacking that, you know, with your 5-point plan that you're going to be able to fix?
I can tell you right now, there's a lot for me to learn, but I'm gonna speak candidly and very openly. Again, what they're gonna get from me is the truth, the transparency. The ultimate thing is understanding that we are one. I'm representing my community as one. I am them, they are me. So there's no such thing in my mind as a great leader. You can't be a great leader without your team, without the people you're representing. They have to come first, and I'm hoping to, and not hoping, I will make sure there's a cohesiveness between municipality as well as the residents. Municipality needs to understand they work for the residents. We need to start flipping that everywhere. Small government. That's what it's about, small
Nice.
government.
Nice.
And that's how we enjoy our liberties and the pursuit of happiness. We need to make sure, and I'm no different. I'm in that seat. Hey, it goes for me too.
Right.
I do not rule you. I work for you.
Say it
That-
again?
I do not rule you. I work for you. That's
Ladies and
it.
gentlemen, did you hear that? She said, I don't.
That's very unpolitician-like. Thank you,
And that's why
Sonia.
you guys need to donate to Sonia. So go to
Yes,
SoniaGreen.org and make sure you donate to her because, of course, you know, she probably leans on the Republican side because if not, she'd been out this room already.
We've been very
I'm
nice.
more than lean on the Republican side, baby.
Nice to you.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely.
It's a good side to
conservative.
lean on,
Yes,
especially in
absolutely.
California, because
I
it
am
means
that,
you're on
yeah.
Team Freedom. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
that's really
absolutely.
it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't like oppression. I don't like to see what the Democrats have done throughout the years to our black community. It infuriates me to no end. There's nothing more that I would like to do to actually just, you know, go out and talk to our black communities and tell them, even from my perspective. I mean, I know a great deal. I was born in Orange County, true, yeah. Born in Newport, catching the waves, the body surfed, the whole thing. My parents are from Georgia. I have an older
You-
generation of
You know
a
who's from
family.
Georgia? You know who else is from Georgia?
Who?
James Roth. He works for you, too.
This is true.
He sure does work. Hold on, like,
You know
hello?
what's crazy? What's crazy about my team is, and we're gonna take a break after this. Is I got Democrats on my team, I have Republicans on my team, I have Independents, I have Green Party members, and I also have a phone call.
We're gonna take a break and come back to that call, though. Please stay on, caller. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
Is that the beginning to the men all pause? Didn't it
Men
sound like
all
pause?
I know it's about to make sure it's in this. It's important.
You know how we've been able to be so successful? So whatever they said I couldn't get on, I bought it, right? And I tell people this all the time. They didn't let me on the radio, so we bought all the radio in Southern California. They didn't let me on TV, so we bought all the TV in California. They said my name ID wasn't enough, so we bought all the billboards in the 43rd district. And now they don't let me get on the newspaper to put my op-eds, so we about to buy the newspaper too.
Who is that? Have you tried Daily News?
They
You know
don't-
Susan Shelley?
they don't-
Why?
On this,
Maxine
because
Waters
it's
gives
wrong.
them money.
Everything right now, anything that's Republican in California, and it's not like, even, I have a friend, a personal friend, like, she's like an aunt to me. Remember KNX 1070?
Mhm.
She used to be the head of the station. She called and said, hey, I want Joe Biden. They said, you can't. The owner literally said, we can't put anybody Republican in because of Trump. It's that bad.
Oh,
And then they'll say something like, "Oh yeah, we know, but he's in the D plus 54
Right.
district, so he
Yeah.
has no chance to win it." Perfect. I'm
But then they'll turn around to anybody else and go, oh yeah, you can all come.
Right.
They were promoting in the LA Times a person all the way in like Wisconsin, because it's a swing state.
Yeah.
There's a
No,
black girl who's crazy.
it's crazy. You know, I raised $30,000 for my campaign, and I got on TV. I mean, just that one weekend. But you gotta. The fact is that you're spreading the word, and that's all that you can
Oh, we're
do.
not done. You just wait till what happens to him this week.
Yeah, we're not finished.
No, I know you're not finished,
Oh,
but
we-
good job because you
we're
know
going to the
Omar
radio.
took up a lot of money and I never saw an ad.
Omar.
No, but I mean, people.
Omar.
Don't say that name. It's-
Sorry.
No, do you know why? Because if he hears you, he may come stalk you. I'm not gonna say that. And you know he likes people from Jamaica. You know he likes that. Yeah. Okay, be careful. His microphone is off right now, except for
There's no such
You
thing
know,
as
I
an
saw
off
him in DC
microphone.
last year when I was
He's an
there.
idiot.
I saw him in DC last year. He was great. Omar. Thank you. I'm ready to shake it up.
You take callers for a second.
All right, everybody, let's go to the phone lines. Call number 1, what's happening? How are you? Good evening. I appreciate you listening. Yes, how are you? Thank you. I really appreciate that. That makes me feel really good. Yeah, you know, it's tough out there because there are a lot of people who, you know, like Maxine Waters, like a lot of Democrats in the Democratic Party, but I don't think the question that they've asked themselves, and that question should be, what have they done for me lately? I know a lot of women ask that when they, you know, date a man or get married to a man. What have you done for me? I think they need to ask that about the people who represent them, you know, also. But I do appreciate your call. Thank you for calling in. All right, we got another caller. James, how are you? What's happening? James, first off, listen, stop playing games, man. Where you from? No, where you living at, James? Don't tell me you calling from Georgia. I know who you are.
Out of control.
They put your whole name, they put your address on here, your phone number, and I can see all your. If your car get keyed up, trust me, we'll get you another car once I get in the office.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I'll make sure everybody get cars with low interest rates when I get in the office.
Everybody.
All
And
right.
it'll come with some
You
food,
get a
too.
car, you get a car, you get a car.
Hey, you know what's amazing?
Everybody
I'm
gonna
gonna
get a
I'm gonna
food.
have to say this. You know, yesterday at the food drive, James did get 2 shades darker.
Did he?
Man,
Because he was out there working. It was hot, too.
it was yesterday's
Listen.
food drive was.
Hold on, let
unbelievable.
me do it. This is Joe Collins, congressional candidate, California's 43rd district. I'm running against Maxine Waters, and if elected, I promise, I will attack every credit agency in the United States, and I will ensure everybody's credit score goes up. And I promise you, you can trust me to fight those credit agencies. Everybody's gonna get 100 points up on their credit score, and I'm gonna get you a car with low interest rates.
This is Joe's conscience.
Really?
I promise I'm going after credit agencies. Not a game. They be having stuff on people's credit. Because financial literacy is a huge staple of my campaign. And I know credit agencies always keep stuff on there past 7 years. They have, you know, remarks, derogatory remarks. They don't be having correct filing when it comes to things needed to report stuff. I'm not playing with credit agencies. Everybody's credit score going up. Hey, Michael, you recorded that, right? Let's
Yes.
make that into a commercial. We're going to roll that out. We're gonna
And you know what's great? James did a great job on the
That- we did a job fair, yeah. And we have another one coming up, too.
We should do a job fair at Huntington Beach.
Yeah,
We'll do one in Huntington Beach.
absolutely.
Everything we do like DJ Khaled. Another one.
Another one.
So I have to ask James, what's it like being a volunteer for Joe?
He's a Democrat, so don't
Is he
take
okay?
everything he say with a grain of salt, okay?
All
I'm
right.
not as mean as he's probably gonna say I am.
Is he a good guy? Uh-oh.
Bring the tequila with the salt.
Hey, shout out to my sister Kimberly, man. I don't care. Forget James, man.
Tell her to call in. We'll get her on the air too.
Kimberly's amazing. She's amazing. You know that Kimberly's a professor. She was a
You
professor.
can't say that.
You can't-
be so- don't say that. We're gonna have people looking for her.
She'll get
What was
fired,
this
she'll get
Democrat
canceled.
working at?
I mean, that's the truth about California. That's what's so sad, is that people can't just say, oh, I believe in low taxes and small government.
See, that's the
That's
problem.
hate speech.
That's the problem. That's the
Okay,
problem
I see you
when
getting a
you
little
have a.
spicy over there. Let's hear it.
Who? Sonia?
Sonya over there getting spicy.
Yeah,
Did
that's-
she just
that's
come out?
it.
I
Let
think
me just
Roxanne
come out
brought her.
boxing. Well, see, that's the problem. When you have a party that now wants to guide a way a person thinks or wants to vote, the way to believe, the way to worship, want to have a choice of education for their children, and they're now going to guide that way into their circle. That's a problem. That right there tells me that's not a party you really need to belong to.
Because they don't have a circle. At this point, I think it's like a hexagon. It falls off the side of a cliff.
Yeah, that's not good at all. That's
If you're an
scary.
entrepreneur in California, you're screwed. I'm telling you that right now. You're screwed.
No argument from anyone here, so there you go.
that awkward pause and somebody
I
says
mean, there's
something.
literally no one,
The
no one
optimistic
making
part of that is Joe Collins. He
Yeah.
gets in there, there'll be some
And
optimism.
so, what you also know.
Thank you.
don't be afraid.
I appreciate
Well,
that.
and the thing is, people don't realize what those local, I ran for assembly a couple of years ago, and somebody used to make a joke, you're running for assembly, what are you gonna assemble in California? The truth is that people don't know that the people that are in Sacramento, they're willfully destroying this state,
Oh,
brick
yes.
by brick, and they're not
Yeah.
even in session, they're letting Gavin Newsom run roughshod over everyone with executive orders, like 400 that he's issued since COVID started.
That's
Pretty
why
insane.
we need somebody with backbone to run against Gavin Newsom in his upcoming election.
And some sort of business experience.
I don't even care about the business experience at this
Yeah.
point. As long as you got some backbone and you can distinguish between right and wrong
Yeah.
and moral and immoral, please run. That doesn't mean everybody get up and run. That doesn't mean everybody get up and run,
Right,
okay?
right.
Just somebody with some backbone, run. That's it. So that's what we need, okay?
Well, for too long, we've had casting sessions
Right.
for our public officials. Oh, you look good. Oh, the
Yeah.
hair, the gravelly
That's what they did to
voice.
AOC.
I can tell you all something. The LAGP is gonna change for sure.
Mhm.
Now the way that they're talking about the vetting system and putting things in order.
You know what? First of all, why are you talking like that?
Because it's my natural voice.
No, you're not. You on here
it's the
trying to sound
conscience.
sexy.
Yeah, he's
He
trying to do a
over here
sexy
trying to-
thing. I see that. He's doing a sexy thing.
It's the natural voice at all times. So when I'll
So
tell
you
something.
think because you tall, your voice automatically has to be deep, huh? That's why my voice is not deep, because I'm short.
Well, I thought he was
No,
just
no.
talking as your conscience. didn't
Yeah, I
know.
thought it was a
I
Luther
thought that's what it
Vandross
was,
thing.
yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna.
If you realize, if you realize something, you're not short. Stop saying that.
I'm average female height.
No, you're average height for a
You're
guy.
average
No,
height
I'm not.
for a
I'm
male.
5'6". Average male height is 5'9".
You're the same height as
Average
Kevin Hart.
female- Kevin Hart is 5'4". I'm 2 inches taller than him.
So now take that, Kevin.
No, but
Joe
Kevin
Collins is
stands on
taller
a
than you.
stack of $1 million bills. No
No,
offense.
no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Nobody cares about how you
Gotcha,
already got
gotcha,
money.
gotcha. He's doing okay, but he's not a billionaire yet. Not yet. Shouts out to Kevin Hart. Oh, you know what though? Before we get off air, we will take an 8-second pause today because today is the birthday of Kobe Bryant.
Oh.
And shouts out to Vanessa Bryant and the whole Bryant family. He would have been 42 years old.
That's true. He would have been 42 years old today. So happy birthday to the late and great Kobe Bryant. You know what's crazy? I still have. I posted something about Kobe Bryant. It was like, yeah, but women need to be heard when sexual assault cases come up too. I'm like, yeah, they do get heard, but where's the evidence at? I mean, look at Kavanaugh, Bill Cosby, all these people. They've been, women come after 50 years screaming they've been raped. I'm like,
That's
really?
tough.
So you've been living with this stuff for 50 years and never cared to say anything?
It's tough.
Here's what makes America great, is due process and an adversarial system in law so that you get to the truth, and we need it in politics. That's why California is going down, because we've become too far away to the other. I was serious when I said if you're a Democrat, you should vote Republican this election in
Oh,
California,
absolutely.
because you need to make the Democrat Party stronger. It's a disaster.
But I've been telling people this, and I say this, and especially people who support people like Maxine Waters, and they say, she's doing a good job. Where is she doing a good job? Are we completely ignoring the fact that the business is shutting down? Are we ignoring all
Right.
150,000 people that are homeless and living on the streets? Are we just ignoring these things? We're ignoring the poor quality education? Are we ignoring the crumbling housing, crumbling infrastructure? Are we just like ignoring these things just to say that, this woman's doing a good job? Why is she doing a good job? And I still haven't had an answer to what has the Democrats done to improve the quality of life.
You're not gonna get one.
And I think all the senior citizens who are in office just please retire, okay? Because you're not helping
Get 'em,
anybody.
Arthur.
And it's crazy, like when these people got in office, we didn't even have cell phones, we didn't have computers, we didn't have any of that stuff. Now all of a sudden you're trying to tell us how to move forward. Like, come on, man, you guys are living in the past. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Joe, you know what it is? It's exactly that. Silence. What's your website?
My website, joecollinsforcongress.com. Let me tell you, Michael Jackson said it best. They don't really care about us.
And what's Sonia's website?
SoniaGreen.org.
And how can they find you,
They don't really
Roxanne?
care about
They
us.
can find me on Twitter at Roxanne for AD46, where I just have a good time.
That's right. And you
Nice.
know what? Mine is the real Robert Foster on Instagram.
Follow Robert. He need more followers.
I
And as always, I want to appreciate everybody for listening to our show. I want to thank Roxanne. I want to thank Sonia. I want to
Thanks
thank
for
America.
having me.
And I want to thank everybody who supported our campaigns. Keep that up. We're doing a great job. We're going to win this election.
Amen.
JoeCollinsForCongress.com. Visit the website, Collins for Congress 43, Instagram and Facebook, Joe Collins 43rd on Twitter. Peace.
That was perfect. It was awesome.
Did you hear what song he was playing?
Oh, he's very good, bro. He changes it up.
I know, I heard.
That's awesome.
He
That
was
was
just playing
so
short
much
people.
fun.